All right, gentlemen, what is up? So I got a message from a subscriber. Actually, one of the most viewed videos in the last 3 months on my channel. It's crazy. I never thought this one would be it. It was the one that I did not a long time ago, maybe 6 months ago, on the truth about dating single moms. I'll put a card up so you can check that out if you haven't seen it. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you like women and you're going to date women, because you will run into single women that are mothers. Anyway, he writes in the comments, guy's name's Anthony, and he says, anyway, I'm a Leo who works for my state prison's death row unit for the last 9 years. Met my fiance of 5 years, who has 2 kids from different guys. So she's got 2 kids from two different men. We now have 3 boys who are mine with her. Well, the daughter is 14 and very disrespectful and hateful towards me. I'm assuming you're talking about your fiance's children from the prior men. I recently told my fiance that I'm done trying to go out of my way to do things for her due to her ungrateful attitude. Sorry, I took 2 screenshots here. Of wanting anything to do with me. It's got to the point where my fiance and I almost never have alone time or sexual time, and it's draining. When I met her, she was a single mom from 2 different guys. We were trying to get a home, but she's leaning towards me to get it under my name. I'm super cautious about not doing that. Plus, we're not married. We just seem the 2 females are ungrateful. He also goes on in another message after that, which I didn't screenshot, where he was talking about taking all the kids, so it sounds like all 5 of them, on a family vacation, and she was nice and sweet to him during the trip, and as soon as they got back, she went back to her old bitchy ways. So I hate to say it, but to start off with this, but guys, this is exactly why you have to be very careful with dating single moms. You don't have to date women that have children from prior relationships. I know that as you get older, more and more women have kids from past relationships and the such, but you can make choices, guys. You can get up and decide, I only want to date women that don't have children from prior relationships, or if they do, they don't have kids from 2 different fathers. These are all signals and signs. Guys, you have to listen. Like, I've talked about intuition before, but you have to listen to that little voice in your head that tells you, hey, maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe I might want to find somebody else. Because this is the kind of stuff that can happen. This is fairly common. I've experienced this myself, and again, watch that video on the card that I put up where I talk about the truth about dating single moms and what to expect. But they're going to treat you like shit. They just are. And it's not like this is a one-off. And I've seen women throw comments in that video where they're like, I'm not like that. I make sure my kids are very respectful. It's fucking bullshit, okay? Women will always choose their child's bad behavior over their partner. And again, this is not just my experience. This is the experience of many, many men beyond me. I have a good friend of mine that met a woman that had 2 kids from a prior marriage. They had a 3rd together, and the oldest, which was a boy, was constantly butting heads with him. And it's not like he had met the children when they were like, teenagers or anything. The boy was, I think, 5 or 6 when he entered into his life. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, guys. You got to take a look at the parental units, the mom and dad. The kid's probably going to spend time with a father if, he's got his shit together and at least wants to be a stand-up guy and virtuous and shows his son how to be a man. But if he's an asshole, the child's going to be an asshole. It's just, it is what it is. The only time that I would ever consider dating a single mom is if she really, really, she had to be a top shelf woman. And she'd have to have a great relationship with her ex, and the child would have to spend time with his or her father. And, he's got to be a stand-up guy. But this is a big risk that you take when you decide to date women that have children from a prior marriage. Back to my point with this friend of mine, the boy was 5 when he entered into his life, and always butted heads with him. Just a complete asshole. Like, whenever we would talk about life and relationship stuff, he would always bring up, this kid being a constant source of pain in his life, a constant source of stress. Guys being men, working, doing things and accomplishing shit in life you don't really need the extra stress of somebody else's asshole kid. He tried to do his best. He's still with the woman. He tried to do his best, but I remember he told me the story one time where he had asked him, you know, he was always taxiing the kid around and doing shit for him, similar to what Anthony was talking about in his message, where he was bending over backwards to help this 14-year-old stepdaughter of his. You know, he'd asked the kid to at least step up to the plate and do something useful around the house. He would be responsive to his mother. He would be responsive to his siblings when they needed something, but he was completely unresponsive to his stepdad, my friend, and just treated him like shit. He told me about this one time he had asked the kid to just go outside and cut the grass before he took him to his friend's place, and did a half-ass job, you know, mowed a little bit of the lawn, and then kind of just walked away and said, fuck it, I'm not doing it. You're not my dad. I'm not gonna respond to this request, because that's what they do. And he ended up driving the kid to his buddy's house, you know, and he's like, this actually hurt me. He's like telling me that this is a shitty thing, and it hurt me. And I'm like, dude, I get it. The advice that I gave him was, you need to demonstrate to these children, well, first of all, you got to be alpha, okay? You've got to fucking let them know who the boss is around the place. I'm not saying that you know, you need to beat on these kids or anything like that, but you need to demonstrate that you are the fucking man, that you wear the pants in the family. And you also have to have your partner support everything that you do. If she's unsupportive or lets the child get away with bullshit behavior, it is going to make your life a fucking nightmare, okay? Hence this guy's story in that comment. I told my friend, I go, you know what, the next time he asks you to drive you somewhere, use that example of the lawn, okay? Drive him halfway, pull over, stop, look at him, and go, get out of the car and walk the rest of the way. You're gonna cut half the lawn, I'm gonna drive you half the way to get you to your buddy's house. You've got to fucking lay it on the line. The problem, guys, is we're pussies. We've been pussified by society in today's world, and guys that grow up under single mother households, I'm sorry to say it, and I've seen it in the comments of my other videos when I'm talking about these dating single mom things. I've seen guys say this time and time again. Single moms don't raise virtuous, strong, stand-up men. It's just very difficult for them. A boy has to have a strong adult male role model in his life to demonstrate what it is to be a man. Back to your question, Anthony, what should you do? You're in a tough spot, dude. You're between a rock and a hard place. But if I'm being perfectly honest with you, and again, I'm the guy that points to the cold, hard truth and the facts. You're not going to get rainbows and butterflies from me. You're going to get me pointing to those sorts of things. You're the one that chose this lifestyle, okay? You met a woman with 2 kids from 2 different fathers. You had 3 more with her. She's letting her 14-year-old daughter treat you like shit. You're not getting your needs met. You're not having any intimate moments with you. You guys aren't having sex. It doesn't sound like it's a great relationship. And I know those guys are going to come along and go, yeah, you should go MGTOW, man. Okay, that's one option. But again, where are you right now? You're kind of stuck. I would recommend that you sit down with this fiance of yours and fucking agree that the behavior is unacceptable and that she needs to support you. And if she can't do that, then you've got a choice that you've got to make. I mean, you can work through it together. You can get a counselor to help you work through it, sort of thing. But she's got to be willing to participate in that conversation. If she's not willing to participate and recognize that there's a problem with her daughter's behavior, and by the way, dude, this is the kind of 14-year-old girl that's going to grow up to have all kinds of fucking problems relating in society to men in general if she's going to treat you like shit, okay? You're the guy that's taking the family on vacation. You're the guy that's putting food on the table. You're the guy that's putting a roof over everybody's head while the other 2 guys bounced and left her high and dry, and you show up, have 3 more kids with her, and now you're left with this terrorized 14-year-old girl treating you like shit. It's just, you got to get on the same page, and if she's not willing to do that, you got 2 options. One, you can bounce, which is going to be fucking hard because you got 3 other kids with her, and you're probably going to be on the hook for child support payments for the other 2 that aren't yours, depending on where you live in the world, because that's just how family law works. Or you can suck it up and just fucking live that miserable life. So I don't know how else to tell you this. I can't sugarcoat it. Again, you want rainbows and butterflies, go to your mom. I don't do that. I'll just point to the facts. But I guess this is a lesson to be learned. Hopefully other guys watching this on my channel are going to hear this message loud and clear and recognize that it's, you know, it is a bit of a fucking challenge, and it is not easy to date a woman. What's going on over there? To date a woman with children from another marriage or partnership or men or whatever, you know, her lifestyle choice was at that time. Guys, I'd love for you to chime in and offer some advice to the subscriber and let him know what you think of the situation. I like to make my videos speaking from experience, my own personal experience, or people that I know in my circle of friends, my network that I know, like, and trust that have told me the truth. So if there's something that you can add of value, put it in the comments and let him know what you think. Guys, it's just so difficult dating women with kids. Another very, very quick story for you. I got a good friend of mine that was living with his girlfriend and her 2 children. They were young, they were both under 11, and his 2 kids, and she moved into his place with her kids, and that went so badly for him that he ended up moving out of his own fucking house. He had to leave his own house to let them get out and find their own place before he could move in. How bad is it that you got to leave your own place? His girlfriend's kids were so disrespectful, they would kick him in his shins. Like, is it a fucking cartoon that you're living in where children are allowed to kick you in your shins? Like, what kind of fucking world is that you would allow that to happen? How disrespectful is that happens? So, hey, listen, I'm sure that there's somebody that's going to come along in the comments and go, oh, you know, you don't know what you're talking about, or I'm not like that, or my kids are very respectful to my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whatever. Great. You know, I have yet to meet somebody from my own experience, and I've dated a lot of single moms, or, you know, in the people that I know in my life, that have said it has been by far the best single decision I've made in my entire life to date a single mom. It's just hard, guys. I wish I had some better advice for you on how to fix that, but you've got to really get her on the same page as where you're sitting and have her, bring her into your world. Share your experience with her and say, look, when your daughter does this shit to me, this is how it makes me feel, and I would like to deal with it this way instead. Invite her into the conversation. If she's not hearing that conversation or is unwilling to participate, she's basically telling you that it's going to happen all over again. You get out of life what you tolerate, guys, and if you're going to tolerate that kind of shit, it's going to keep happening all over again. So you've got 2 choices: bounce, try to fix it, basically, or, you know, the third is obviously just suck it up and let it keep fucking happening until they move out. Anyway, that's my bit of advice for this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful. Obviously, browse the rest of the channel, watch the rest of the videos in this playlist for the dating advice. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with somebody that might need to see this video. Have an awesome day. Peace.